The Bone Man, Part 3. It continues with gasps and startled scares, building tension among them, their choices and companionship bringing the group actually closer together. They laugh at one another, taking stock of their particular faults, having future jokes and stories to share. An equal experience that allows all of the sense of family, the togetherness. While the others have siblings they are not close, these nights make while that gap. As the night wears on and time takes a toll on them, the story hinders on the last moments. Something isn't right. You can all feel it. As you have managed to burn up 2 tents and toss the melted goop in a semicircle, Saito managed to lose the shovel in that attempt. Digger broke the compass and stabbed Angie with a sharp stick. Nolan, you've stopped the bleeding while the rest got the fire going so you can see better. No one set the woods on fire. Good job. Sherman gives a quick thumbs up. You guys know somehow something is out there, watching. You can feel it, eyes over you, reaching inside of you, drawing on your fears. All of you, roll perception. They all let out a groan, but do as instructed, giving the totals as they wait for the next part. Angie, Josh, Nolan, you see movement past the edge of the fire, and see the fire swirl as something passes through it. Digger, you're as blind as glasses smeared with shit. You take a hit. Sherman makes a quick check of the notes. What? Digger yells, spiking his drink, but scrambling he catches it. I fell out of the tree. I'm almost dead. Well, it's all the way dead now. 30 points of health, Sherman says with shadows of enthusiasm. I can try to. Nolan is abruptly stopped. No one can move. You're all too scared. The motion you saw was a figure shadowed by the trees that seemed to stamp out the light from your fire, as it hurls a large, mishmashed homemade cleaver through the fire into Digger's head. As you all stare, the thing steps through the fire. The melted tents, still burning, stick to its thick leather boots. White gleams of the face, dingy but still holding some polish. The mask is part made from a human skull. Tethered to it are bones of animals, making a gnarled grin with broken ribs like teeth. Meet the Bone Man. They all yell out incoherently while Digger throws his character sheet in the air. Saito has resistance to evil effects. I can attack. Sherman shrugs. Go ahead. Josh rolls 10. I swing for his head. Sherman rolls. Okay, you swing. He steps back. The weapon reflects off his mask. You have effectively pissed him off. He makes a move. Wow. Shit. Saito, you feel pain and look down. His fist is buried halfway to the elbow in your stomach. You feel him grab your spine and pull. God damn it! Josh grabs in a stack several pieces of pizza to fill the time. I'm still wounded, right? So there isn't much I can do. I want to hold my action. Angie always doubted her abilities as a character, leaving Nolan to hold out hope for the others. I'm scared and can't move. I want to make a save to break free from the fear. Can I do that as a free action if I spend some essence? He asks quietly. I forgot I had any of that. I could have spent it for the attack. Josh kicks his feet angrily. Yeah, you may, but you have to spend all of it, Nolan. Doing the proper things he needs to do, furiously erasing the numbers. Then casts the die out. 16. Great, you managed to force down the fear, able to act if you need to. Looking at Angie quickly, Nolan looks down at the paper, then to his brother. I throw myself over Angie. The sun's almost up. The witch said he only comes out at night, and the book said he had to collect the bones of his victims. I can buy time, so maybe Angie can get to someone or bring out the police or something to kill the witch. Sherman gives his little brother an impressed look. Nolan has sweat on his brow, waiting to see what happens next. Okay. You muster up all your will and constitution as the Bone Man retrieves his cleaver from Digger's face gash and lumbers toward you. Angie, you watch as the huge monster begins bashing Nolan into rubbery, bloody chunks. You can feel each hit. Then he pulls the bones from him, and the other two, stuffing them into his already scabbed, crusted sack. You still can't move from fear and mental shock. However, from the ripped edge of Nolan's skin, you can see the sun coming up through the trees. I let out a sigh and start crying. Okay, Angie. Well, the bone man is still there. He stops what he is doing, grabbing the cleaver, and dives at you. The cleaver comes crashing down. Angie lets out a small scream as Sherman shouts his last line at her. You open your eyes and he is gone. Eventually you pull yourself out from under Nolan and limp towards town. They all pause in silence before exploding in enthusiastic praise. Their celebration can be heard outside of the house. After they decide on a movie to watch, Sherman goes to his room to sleep, having to help a friend in the morning. Much to the dismay of Angie, who would sit next to Sherman and fake grabbing his arm out of fright. Instead, she is sitting with Nolan while the other two sit in separate chairs. They chat idly about the game, asking Nolan questions on if the Bone Man will make other appearances. However, they do not see the monster again. Another game starts. This goes on weekly for another year before Sherman heads off to college. Angie does what she can to help out at her house the first week after Sherman leaves for the dorms. The group doesn't seem the same. The land behind the groomed yard is overgrown with tangled brush besieged by bushes, which line the marsh between her home and the hillside. During the winter the marsh freezes, but in late summer it's full of fowl. Angie works in the heat of the unseasonable day, clipping brown vines with hedge trimmers, peeling away a trail to the dark water so she can sit and watch the ducks gather as they swim with perfect whole trails behind them. Mostly it is so her father can set a stand out and hunt. The sweat rolls down her neck as she straightens up, her back arching from labor, the golden color of midday washing over the sparse clouds above, the heavy forest-coated hill casting a trench-like shadow down to the middle of the marsh. Darting dragonflies dance between the light and shade. The glare catches her eyes, making her put a globed hand up to clear visibility, squinting to catch darker shapes gracefully darting up the hillside. She never felt comfortable when looking to the far side of the marsh. A mix of anxiousness cavorting alongside wonder. The slight chill of invisible eyes eases its way up her spine. She holds her gaze. The breeze created by the path she had made blows her hair into her face. The gold-orange lace she can still see. Him. It. The figure is broad-shouldered, wearing a hooded coat. The white of bone, a skull, either deer or dog, the snout poking out from the edge of the hood. She can see a face only half in the dark, covered, red, black, yellow. The eyes look at her through her frost. In that is eyes again. She looks down briefly to stab the hedge trimmers into the ground. Looking back, the figure is gone, taking the ice cold with it.